joined with Coach Stanton on the Coach Stanton Show. It's been a while since we've talked to Coach, and since we've last talked, gotten off to a 2-0 start in conference. Coach, take us through that presentation game. Got off to a great start, 21-0, and then the lead sort of slipped away. Just take us through that first half.
Yeah, the first half we played as well offensively as we have all year long. We got those 21 quick points, and we played the ball well. We ran the ball well. We did a good job on defense, getting some initial 3 and outs right away, and we were just very efficient that whole first quarter, and things were going very well. And it was almost like a little bit of a lull there then. And presentation to their credit, hit a couple big plays. The receiver played very well. They got on the board, got a touchdown, and then got to end up getting another one. And we really had a couple of 1-and-out plays. Had an interception and then a near pick six, and we just never really got very good field position. And it was a very tight game at halftime.
There were some weird stretches. You talked about it with the safety, pick six drop, but turned into a safety. Offense really wasn't on the field much. Came out, did get an early score, give us a little bit of room, but presentation ultimately ended up in the lead. First time we've trailed in a while.
Yeah, they battled right back, and once again, sometimes you have to credit the other team as well. They played very well. It definitely wasn't our best defensive game. We play well for 3 or 5 or 6 plays, and then give up a 3rd and long and give up a 4th and long. But good defense has got to get up the field and be able to do that, and we didn't do it enough in that game at that point in the third quarter. And third quarter they came back and did, like you said, took the lead, and to our guys' credit offensively, then the rest of the game we played very well. We drove it right back down, and Cody Johnson kicked a field goal and got us.
Talking about Cody Johnson, he was the kicker of the week again that week. But that was kind of the first field goal. Lots of his field goals have been either early in the game or to give the team a 3-possession lead. How kind of nice was it to get him out there in a pressure situation like that and see him knock it right through the uprights?
Definitely, we wanted to get him in a situation like that, and I think he's going to be in a lot more down the road on that. And he's got a tremendous leg, and I think we look at one of the differences between last year and this year, is not only the field goal and extra point ability, but his kickoff. He's putting the ball so high in the air and allowing our kick covers to get down and make some plays, and he's just done a tremendous job for us.
Then it wasn't the offense that put 2 touchdowns on the board after that. It was Kane. Just take us through those plays and how important it is when the defense is scoring points.
Yeah, Kane was playing corner in that game because Jay Liggins was still hurt and then came back this last week. But the first one he just made a play on an out. They kind of went with a deep out, and he read it the whole way and picked it. And then of course Kane's got great speed. He's the conference champion in the 100. And once he got the ball on the sideline, he went and scored it. Kind of deja vu from last year when he had 2 pick sixes down that same sideline there. One was against Waldorf, and then the second one he just made a great play. We were playing that backside trips route where he was supposed to come off to the running back if he showed up, and he just did that textbook with the receiver, jumped off. They tried to throw the running back in the flat, and he picked it off and ran back for 2 pick sixes, and that really broke the game open. And defensively we got some more stops after that, and offensively we just played a good game.
Yep, Cody knocked in a field goal. That time it was to give us a 3-possession lead. Like we said, gave him Player of the Week. Also Player of the Week, Kane, with those 2 pick sixes. But that left us headed into Valley. Talk about the difficult aspect of playing the same team within the same month.
Yeah, it's always tough, to play it, especially when we knew we were going to Valley City. It's always a tough place to play, and we talked about it with our guys. We haven't won there since 2010. They play very well at home. They play very well on the road too, but they especially play very well at home. And it was one of those things that preparation was a big thing we pushed. We didn't think against presentation that we needed to be a little bit better prepared, and that was really our kind of our theme all week long, is that we got to be ready to play on the road, we got to be able to travel well, and we got to be prepared, and I think our guys did a great job at getting out of.
Great defensive effort to start the game. I think I heard on the Valley call 6 total yards given up by the defense in the first quarter. Offense wasn't really getting things going, but the defense kept giving them opportunities. Just speak to the defensive effort that game and how that kind of allowed you to do some different things offensively to get that jump started.
Yeah, that's the defense we kind of thought we'd have about 3 weeks earlier. It didn't show up in the presentation game, and that was the defense we thought we'd go with. The first half, like you said, we were tremendous. had a couple 3-and-outs, and just did a great job of tackling and really keeping them on a short field and forcing them to punt, and just a total team effort. It was secondary did a good job. I think our front guys are getting in better shape, and our linebackers tackled well, and it was just a great team effort. Thing about defensively, once you get off that start, you hope to have in a game, your goal is to the offense to have under 300 yards, and they were under 200 yards, and our defense just did a great job all the way through, but especially the first half setting the tone.
3 points you put on the board early by the offense, kind of sputtered. You went ahead and made the switch at quarterback. Talk about kind of what went into that decision and what you saw after that decision that had to please you.
Well, we were sputtering a little bit offensively, and we wanted to try to give Hayden a chance to give us a spark there. And obviously Kaler's been our leader, and he's been our captain, and he's been one of our guys, and he's still going to be one of our guys here. And we just wanted to make a change to try to open up that passing game a little bit. And then of course Hayden hit a couple of really nice passes, and in that first half, and we got the score, and things kind of went from there. And I think obviously the key play of the game was we go down and score the first touchdown, and at the end of the half, getting that touchdown pass with 6 seconds left was really a huge play in the game.
Yeah, for fans who weren't there, we got possession of the ball with minute 15, I think, in the second quarter. Ran Carson Mack, another freshman, a couple times. He got some yards and kind of decided it's time to go, see what you can do in the last 30 seconds. Hayden ended up 9 for 10 with 105 yards and 2 touchdowns there in those last 2 series. But then the second half, more of the same from the defense. At the same time, the offense, it was a different freshman who found the end zone a couple times.
Yeah, in the second half, once we came out and continued that, and offensively, we hit a couple things that we hadn't run in a while. We hit the long play to Jed. I think you got to credit our offensive line and our tight ends for the way they blocked on that. It was a little different look that we gave them, and kind of our old toss play that Coach Bees used to run, where we cut down the interior lineman and just ran a sweep, but we handed it off, and Jed pretty much went untouched on that play, and really broke some things open in the second half. We ran the ball very well in the second half, and then once again that defense played extremely well, and really our first guys played well all the way through. When we pulled our first guys off midway in the third quarter, it was 31-0, and those guys just played a great defensive game.
Any final thoughts from the first win in Valley since 2010?
Well, I think just a total team effort. I think those are the type of things you want to do. If you're going to be a good football team, you've got to be good on defense and hold the opponent down, and you got to be able to run the football. And we run for over 300 yards and have them over 500 yards in total offense. And obviously it was just a great team effort offensively, defensively, and special teams, especially going on the road in a place that's tough to play and playing very well. We were very pleased with the game.
All righty, thanks, Coach. And now we're joined by some of our defensive captains. All right, guys. First off, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us what position you play, where you're from, and what year in school you are.
I'm Drew Johnson. I play inside linebacker from West Fargo, North Dakota, and I'm a senior.
I'm Noah Tawaga from Samoa. I'm a senior this year.
All right, guys. Now just kind of getting into yourselves a little bit more. Obviously, you're a local, not local, but North Dakota kid.
Yeah.
Talk about what it's been like to play for DSU since we talked about you didn't redshirt your freshman year. You've been here all 4 years. You played on those teams that were in the Frontier. Talk about how it's come full circle from your freshman year to where you're at now.
My freshman year out of high school, I never envisioned myself coming to Dickinson, North Dakota. But, one thing led to another, and I'm here. And that first year playing in the Frontier was a rough one, going 1-10, playing those caliber teams, It's definitely eye-opening, what the talent that's out there, and going against those types of teams. And then the freshman year ended, got into our own little conference in the North Star, and we've just progressed every year and gotten better and better. And myself, I've grown a lot as a player, and it's been a lot of fun. Just I've really enjoyed coming to DSU. It's definitely the best decision I could have made with my life. So.
Take us through. You probably, if he didn't think he was getting up in Dickinson, he was only 300 miles away. You surely couldn't have envisioned ending up in North Dakota. So take us through how you got here and how you've kind of transformed in your time here.
For me, I really thought I wasn't going to play football ever again, but Coach recruited Sefa, from last year, the D-line from last year, and then I kind of like, talked to Stefan and asked him if I get a chance to talk to the coaches. And he sent my tape out to the coaches, and then right away, Coach Markel, reached out and kind of gave me a chance. Coming to DSU is like a second chance, and everything that I ever, wished for and paid for. And, Coach Dan gave me that ability to, prove myself again, and I kind of build on top of the mistakes I've ever did and stuff like that.
Now, both of you guys are captains this year. What have you kind of added, not pressure, but added responsibility? How has that kind of changed the way you approach things on a daily basis?
Just trying to be more vocal and do the right thing. You always got your people's eye on you, and just try and lead by example. I never used to be the most vocal person, but now I speak up a lot, try and break the huddle, and encourage guys and get them going when we need to, or if we're not doing what we need to, get after them.
It's kind of like add on to what you said, kind of be that leader and kind of be like a voice for the coaches when they can't be there for the rest of the team and stuff like that.
Now you guys were just kind of reminiscent. Only 5-6 games left on the schedule right now. What are your thoughts as you wrap up your senior year? What goals are still out there to achieve, and what are you hoping to get out of these last couple months playing football?
For me, win every game that we have now, and take the conference again to where the conference needs to stay. And it's crazy because me and Jules just had this conversation on our way here, and it's just emotional every day as we get through these games and down to the last games and stuff like that. So.
It's crazy. It's flying by. I mean, we're already 5 games in. After this game, we're over the halfway point. Our goal is, 1 week at a time, win the game for that week, concentrate on that. We just got to prepare well, and obviously our goal is to win that conference championship. But 1 week at a time, and we have a good team, and we know that we can do some things. But as long as we keep working and all that shows us up, I think we're going to be a very successful team.
All right, we're back on HawkTalk with Coach Scheuer. Coach, before we get into what's happening right now with the cross-country team, we haven't spoken with you. Your season's well underway. But just kind of take us through, very successful last year, won both conference championships, guys and girls. What were the expectations heading into the 2016 season?
Well, obviously we want to repeat and be champions again, because if you're not, you don't get to the national meet. So, that's our long-range goal, obviously. But yeah, first things first, we got to win our conference championship to get to nationals. So, that's our primary goal. But to do that, we got to do a lot of the little things correct throughout the season. We got to race, as we go through the races one at a time and focus on each of those, because the schedule's set up to prepare us for the national or for the conference meet and what we'll see there within our conference competition. So, we're excited. Our men's team's got almost a completely new look this fall. Out of our top 5 or 7 from last year, we only got 2 of those guys back. So between graduation and different things. So we got a whole new men's team. Our girls team is primarily back from last year, so that's a good thing on our end there. All 5 of those girls from last year are around. So positive. We've had some. Obviously we're just 30 days away from the conference meet now, so we've dealt with some adversity so far in the season, but overall things are still going well, and we got time to get ready, for the meet and get things where we need to be. So.
We had the first opportunity to see the cross country team in Dickinson was that time trial. Since then, you ran another night race, and the big one in Minneapolis. Take us through those and where they leave you.
Yep. Well, obviously the time trial, that's on the track, so it's it's not a true cross country race, but it's obviously an inter squad scrimmage is what it is in a nutshell. The guys can get out there and basically run as hard as they can for where we're at that time of the year, and kind of bust the rust off a little bit from not racing for a couple months since track season. So that's what that's about, really, is the time trial, just to get us a good hard workout and see where we're at, and we do it on the track, obviously, to give them some little favorable conditions there. And then we went to Moorhead. That's, again, not the true race distance that we'll see all fall. The women only raced a 4K and the guys was a 6K. So, they were both, it was a shorter race than what we'll race in October and November. So, but again, a good barometer to give us an idea where we're at, in the season, get the girls and the guys going. things like that. So, we had some good performances at Moorhead. It was kind of windy that night, and it did rain a little bit right before the start, so the ground was a little slick and some things like that that kind of slowed down the times a bit, I think. But overall, we got a good look at from the new guys on the team and our freshmen on the women's team and stuff like that. So things went well there. Then we went to the GRIAC Invitational, which is at the University of Minnesota. That's a huge meet. There was 40 teams in our race, so we go to that primarily to get us used to a large field.
Sure.
When we go to if we advance to the national meet, there's going to be 36 teams at the national meet, so 300 plus people in the race. So there's some strategy there that we work through on those races and talk to the kids about, and we work on that obviously when we're at GRIAC. The unfortunate part about GRIAC though is it's 100% rolling hills, so there's not a dead spot in the course where the kids can kind of get in a rhythm and get kind of focused in on the race. It's constantly up and down. No major extreme hills, but it's just a constant roll. So, and then Minnesota, there was the days leading up to it, there were some cities in the area that got anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain. So the course was pretty soggy, wet. Obviously we were the fourth race of the day, so the three before us that had a couple hundred people in it, the course was getting tore up. So it was a good experience, obviously. Got the kids another race and give them an idea, how to compete within that many, with that many competitors in a race. So that was kind of the focus there. And again, the women raced longer at GRIAC than they would all year. There was a 6K there instead of the 5K, and the guys had a true 8K. But again, it's a rough course. But that's not to say that people can't run fast there, because people do every year. So, but overall, I was pretty happy. Our guys team kind of had an off day at GRIAC. We had a couple there. They're usually in our top 5 that placed pretty low on our team, so that was kind of rough for them inside. Our women's side, though, we had all 4 of our girls finish before our top 3 from 2015, if you're looking at times and comparing some things there. So that was a positive on the women's side, that we have 4 coming through faster than we did last year. So that's encouraging, and I think should play into well when we compete here at Jamestown this weekend. So.
I talked about Jamestown this weekend. Also, you said you build the schedule with the end goal of that conference meet, and that we're fortunate enough to have that in Dickinson. So touch on this weekend and kind of how that builds towards that end goal.
Yeah, well, obviously Jamestown's finally at 5K for the women, so it'll be 5K throughout the rest of the year from them. When I build a schedule, the first month of September is kind of some general prep phase, I want to call it. We're obviously training hard, we're training through the races, we're doing a lot of I wouldn't call it conditioning, but a lot of tempo type stuff and threshold running to build some of that endurance and strength in the runners. And then now that we're in October, we switch over to more of a competition phase, and then toward the end of the month we'll get into what I call a championship phase, where we'll really dial into what we're a lot of speed stuff and really fine tune their legs and get them really ready for the racing and stuff. So obviously now we're into Jamestown, so our training changes a little bit there with what we're doing. But obviously, like I said, the women will finally run their first 5K, so that'll give us kind of an idea where they're at, obviously, this time of the year, and we can really start comparing times with obviously other schools in our conference, and then how we kind of stack up across the country. So that'll be good. Our men again, they'll finally get an 8K, but it shouldn't be as challenging as what we saw at GRIAC. So the time should come down, obviously, because it's going to be a little easier course, so we can kind of compare things there as well. So, and I'm hoping we can get some a good race in at Jamestown. We saw Waldorf at the GRIAC meet, and they obviously beat us that day. So that and we were trying to run as close to them as we could. But like I said, we had some kids that had some pretty bad days, so that's tough to gauge. But once we get through Jamestown here and kind of get a true 8K course on a little easier to see really how fast we can run, that's going to give us an idea where we're at, and then we'll go down to Mount Marty Invitational at the end of October, and we might actually see Waldorf down there again, so that'll be kind of good to see them right before conference then, to get kind of another gauge there where we're at. So, but overall, yeah, we're excited, and things are going pretty well. So.
All right, Coach, what's the date on conference? We'll talk to you before then, but just so people can mark it down.
Yep, November 5th. It's the first Saturday in November. The Hart River Golf Course. I was actually out there today, scoping things out a little bit, running around on the golf course and doing some measuring and stuff. So trying to put together a fun course, something that's challenging, but it's going to be spectator friendly, obviously. So as many people as come out and support us, the louder people are on the course for us, I think the better it's going to push our kids to run and to perform in that way. So we're excited. Hopefully it won't be snowing. Hopefully it won't be 10 degrees. Hopefully we got a nice day, but if it's not, we're ready for it, and that's part of cross country. So yep, November 5th.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
All right, back now on HawkTalk with one of our cross-country athletes. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ashley Krenzel.
What year? All the good stuff.
I'm a redshirt junior, a senior school academically wise. I'm in art education. I had to think about that one for a sec. And I am from Spur Lake, Idaho.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right, take us through kind of what's been the start to the year. We've had couple races, different courses. Coach Troy was telling us how you haven't really faced what you'll see down the line, but take us through some of the different experiences you've had so far.
Our first meet, we ran a 4K, and our team did really, really well. We beat Jamestown, so that was a big, woohoo. Then we went to Minnesota, and we ran a 6K, and that was excruciatingly difficult just because it's 1,000 meters longer, which doesn't sound that bad, but once you get to it, it's quite a kicker. I don't know how many of the girls ran their best. I definitely didn't run my best. So we're really looking forward to Jamestown, where we'll actually run a 5K and hopefully beat the Jimmies again and kind of show where we are at in our conference, because we'll have one more meet down in Yankton before conference, which is here in Dickinson, which is sweet. So.
Now take us through kind of what you learn from those different experiences that hopefully you'll be able to use when it's in your normal environment.
Like the shorter to the longer races?
Yeah.
I guess for the longer races, you learn that you can really push through anything and then you can gut it out, even though you don't think you can. Shorter races, I think they're kind of good for speed judging wise. Okay, I have 2.5 miles compared to a 3.1 miles, and you really have to kind of pace yourself for that and figure it out. As for running this weekend, it'll definitely be able to see where we're at. It'll be good for me to see where I'm at, and I know Amanda and all the other girls. One girl hurt herself. She tore her Liz Frank ligament in her foot her senior year of basketball. She's a freshman this year, and she was out, and this will be her first meet, so she's really excited. And we just lost our number 3 or 2, where we're all kind of jumbled up right now. We don't know our places. And she just got a stress fracture in her shin. We're kind of praying and hoping it's not a stress fracture, but we'll see. So we've hit a little rough patch.
Sure. Obviously high expectations coming into the year.
Yeah.
Any extra pressure? What is it kind of mean to you guys to be picked as the favorite going into conference?
I think I'd be the wrong person to ask, just because I actually was unable to run last year, so I didn't get to go to nationals. I mean, I was on the roster, but I wasn't actually able to run. I guess I don't feel the pressure. I'm sure that there's definitely Amanda and Christina and Brittany. I'm sure that they definitely are feeling kind of we have to perform well. Whereas I'm just going, yeah, I'm running. This is sweet. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I don't know help.
Talk about the team dynamic. Guys, lots of new guys on the guys side, but girls for the most part. It's all kind of familiar faces. You added some new ones.
I have never met the guys team. They are so sweet. Oh my goodness. There's a couple of freshmen from Colorado and Wyoming, and they are the nicest guys I've ever met.
Wyoming,
Oh my gosh. The what are those people called that they come from JUCOs? Transfers. They're really nice guys too. Everybody gets along. I love the 2 freshman girls that we picked up. They have great personalities and they're fun to hang out with. I get along great with all the girls anyways, and we joke, we have fun, and we act like complete fools out there. So I don't know, it's a good atmosphere, and I'm happy.
Now finally wrapping up. Obviously it's a couple weeks, I think exactly a month almost out now, but what is the plan when we're in Dickinson hosting the meet? What's that going to be like to be able to run on kind of home territory?
Oh, I hope it's cold. It means
that's probably going to happen.
It means that basically we're going to have our fan base. I'm going to get to have family there. We're going to get to have most of us are all from 1.5 miles, 3 hours away, 5 hours away, so they're going to have family coming as well. Sure. Basically it's gonna be just, I don't know, it's always nice to have support. You go to those football games and there's people cheering and it's loud and it's yelling. You go to those basketball games, it's loud, and it's gonna be that same way for us. And to have the home field advantage, we're gonna get to go out here and practice in a couple more weeks when they close down the golf course for the season, and we're gonna get to go use it, so we're gonna get to see it before actually anybody else does. So I don't know, I can't complain about that.
All right, well, best of luck
Thanks.
the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.